Hey everyone, it's Cam here and you're watching the Pagan Perspective on Friday, and this week we're talking about karma, and in specifically talking about karma and cleansing karma, and how we might do this in a ritual. So I'm going to talk about my personal beliefs on karma and all things like that, and yeah, hope you enjoy. So first of all, karma is an idea which really appealed to me when I came to the pagan path. When you think, when I was Christian, if there was anything that you did wrong, it was sinful, and to cleanse yourself of that you would have to go to God, or go and confess your sins. I wasn't too keen on this idea because I felt that it didn't resonate with me. For example, if someone had killed someone and then they went and said, "Oh God, can you please forgive me?" I don't really think that that is justifiable. I'm not saying with karma that if you go and kill someone, someone will come and kill you. This is quite an extreme example, but it doesn't mean someone will come and kill you. It just means that it's going to come back to you, and something will come back and it will haunt you. You will have repercussions of every action that you do yourself. As some pagans may call it, or especially Wiccans, if you go down that path, they call it the threefold law, which is very similar to karma, which is what you send forth comes back to you, and it comes back to you by the power of three. I think the rule is, "And ye harm none, do what you will." No, what ye send forth comes back to thee. Something like that. I've forgotten, unfortunately. I used to be able to recite quite a large chunk of it, so I know my memory's going. So this is an interesting thought. I'm not personally believing that things come back to you threefold. I just believe that what you do comes back to you, and you need to be ready for it. If you go and be nice to someone, brilliant, nice things will happen to you. It doesn't necessarily have to be something magical. It doesn't mean that you're going to, if you go and give someone some money, it doesn't mean that you're suddenly going to get some money from someone else. You will have good feelings inside, and you'll feel good about yourself, which is part of the which is, I suppose, part of the karmatic thing that's going on. But if you do something bad, it'll come back and nip you in the arse. So that's the sort of thing that I live by. Every action has a consequence, and I believe this through every aspect of life. Through cleansing karma, I'm not too sure about what I believe with this. I believe that if you do something and it comes back to you, it's doing that for a reason. It's probably teaching you a lesson. If you go and do something, if you steal something and something comes back to you, you may have feelings of guilt, you may have you may be caught at it, you may be arrested, you may have things which it's a punishment, and in some way I think that's partly karma. I'm not sure, I haven't really delved into what different types of karma there are, but personally I just believe that what you send forth you get back. So as far as cleansing it goes, I think that you can't cleanse it. If you do something, it's going to come back and get you. And don't be scared. It's something that if you go and do something for right or wrong reasons, it's going to come back to you. So there's nothing really you can do about it. And you knew that whatever you do, there will be repercussions of what you do. Good, bad, you don't know. And as far as people were talking about from generations above them, for example, if their parents did something bad, or grandparents, and it goes through a whole line of generations of family, and it may come back to haunt you. Personally, I do not believe this, because you may have really bad parents, you may have brilliant parents. It doesn't mean that you are going to be exactly the same. I know that your nature versus nurture, being brought up, the way you're brought up will have a huge effect on how you are as a person in society, and how you live your life and what your morals are like. And so I think that everyone still is fairly different. Some people may, for example, if you are a practicing pagan, your parents didn't know about it, your parents may be a completely different religion. It doesn't necessarily mean that that religion will be right for you. And I think that if, for example, someone else did something wrong, then I don't think that that should necessarily have any negative effect on you. Regarding cleansing, I wouldn't cleanse, because I don't really think that that's necessary. Just let things go with the flow. And if you've done something wrong, it's probably because you need to learn a lesson. If you get stuff, it's probably because you need to learn a lesson. during my philosophy classes there was a phrase, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, and I'm sure lots of people have heard that, and that is if someone does something to you, you can go and do that back to that person. But there was for example, if you go and steal some money from this person will have to give you that money back, or you're allowed to take that money from this person, and so it all balances out. There was another one where there was the example of if a father killed someone else's son, that father would be able to kill the murderer's son, which I think is completely ridiculous. That doesn't make any sense at all. I do not believe that at all. So I just believe that you're responsible for your own actions, and what you do comes back to you, so you've got to be careful what you're going to do. We were talking actually today in philosophy classes about how responsible we are for our actions, and there was a story, a case study that we were doing, and it was last year. A girl was stabbed, and it was because the murderer was a schizophrenic, and she wasn't well in the head, and she had murdered, she had threatened to murder people. She was going around saying, I'm going to kill someone if I don't get help, and she was ignored. And I'm not sure, it was very difficult because it's one of those scenarios, do I, don't I, who's wrong, who's right, and it's weighing it up, and it's difficult to make a decision because some ways are right, some ways are wrong. So yes, it's difficult to try and come to a final decision. For example, with this case study example, if this person we had to come to a conclusion. We said that this the murderer was partly responsible because it was her and it was her own actions, whereas she was ill, and the medical professionals knew that she was ill, and they shouldn't really, if she was going around saying, I'm going to stab someone, I'm going to murder someone, she shouldn't really have been allowed to go around. So it's difficult, it's all responsibility, and knowing that I personally believe that you are responsible for what you do. Of course there are exceptions for it, like this, although it was due to this person, she did the act of the killing. I don't feel that she's fully responsible because she was not completely, she had issues, but I don't, that comes into an interesting point, because that comes to karma within that lady. Will she have anything done to her? What will happen? Is she completely responsible? Does she deserve to be punished for it? So yeah, I'd be interested to know your thoughts. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave a comment and sub to my channel if you like, and there'll be a link in the description below. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed watching this video, and thank you very much, and blessed be. Bye!